Hey, what's up, guys? Gangster Jeweler here. So today we are working on a necklace that the clasp part, I'm not sure if you guys can see that. The clasp part is actually split. You see that hairline crack? The jump ring is actually split through. Now the jump ring looks like it's okay. Just the that split through. But also we're going to build these ends up, because I don't know if you can see, those ends are getting real thin on the end tabs. See how thin those are getting? And that just comes with regular wear and tear from rubbing back and forth. And there's just not really a whole lot you can do about that. I mean, that's just natural wear and tear. But that's what we're gonna be working on. We're gonna beef up these two end tabs and weld this hairline crack. First, we're gonna see if we can get the jump ring through it and do it that way. If not, we might have to weld this and then put the jump ring through it. But we're gonna see which way we're gonna be able to do it here. I'm hoping, at least, that... See, now I gotta be careful, because this spring in here, you can tell it got caught, because you see how that clasp is a little twisted off to one side. So that's how it got popped. And it's a pretty clean break too. Like I said, it's super fine across. You couldn't really tell unless you you know. If we could just get that open enough to get this ring to slip through there. Gosh, dang it. If we could just get that ring to slip through. There we go. Hell yeah. Ooh, I don't know if I like that. That jump ring is going to be right up in there, and I don't want it to get seized to it. I don't know about that. I don't know. Let's see. Let's put it on let's see how this jump ring is going to sit with the when it's set up to. Yeah, see, that's going to sit right up in there. I can't be having all that crap. Well, guys. Let's try something here. Yeah, that's going to be right the frig up in there. And I can't be having all that. Yeah. All right, yeah, we're gonna have to tackle this different. I don't want the jump ring to seize to the clasp. I was hoping we'd be able to slip it through there, but you see the jump ring is sitting up in the top, and if we weld that, and solder pulls through. I don't want the jump ring to solder or to adhere to get seized to the clasp. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to weld the clasp, then we're gonna have to cut the jump ring and put the jump ring through so they don't get seized together. That's a little more work we have to do, but hey, we do what we gotta do, right guys? We do what we gotta do. So let's go ahead and cut this jump ring. It sucks that we have to. I was hoping there was going to be enough clearance there, but that's just way too close to there, and I don't want the jump ring to seize to the clasp, so we're just going to have to cut it. All right. All right, we're going to leave the jump ring off for now. And what we're going to go ahead and do, so we're just going to go ahead and do these end tabs first, since I got to take the clasp off anyways. Let's go ahead and beef these end tabs up first. And then we'll work with the clasp and the jump ring there. We're going to switch to a 4-tip. That's a 3. That's a 4. And all right, got our 4-tip there. Now we need to grab us a little boric acid denatured alcohol, stick on this bad boy. Yeah, they needed to go ahead and do the end tabs, because if they just did the clasp part, didn't do the end tabs, the end of the end tabs is probably going to be the next things to go, because they wear out pretty quick just from the rubbing back and forth that they do, just from wearing it. Contrary to popular belief, guys, gold does wear down over time, and it's kind of like a car. There will come a day where you're going to have it fixed at some point. All right, let's burn some of that boric acid denatured alcohol off, and let's get us some flux here. Give ourselves some flux. And let's go in for the close-up shot. Let's see. Our solder's trying to go bye-bye on us. Whoa, this dude. Ah, you bitch. We lost our solder. See where it fell to. I'm not seeing it. I'm just gonna have to cut us another piece. But what I was fixing to say before I dropped my solder, so there went our video with no solder dropped. And for those of you who say you don't drop solder, you're lying. Everybody drops solder, man. You damn sure don't want to film that part. But anyways, what I was going to say is this guy must wear a lot of cologne, because I can smell, I cleaned it, but I can still smell the cologne burning off of it. A little bit more heat here. Beef that end up quite a bit there. Alright, we got a little bit on there. Let's beef her up a little more. We want that thing to last a while. Let's grab our solder here. Okay. You biatch. We dropped our solder again, guys. Let's see if we can find it. I think I've made one video where I haven't dropped solder. I think. I can make solder disappear. I'm good at that. Can't find it. So I say it's good to have a drawer or something that you can catch a lot of it in. Because you're going to drop solder. It's just part of the game. Let's go ahead and grab our solder here. And oh, come on. Oh man, this thing does not like me today. We're going to title this video "The Tales of the Lost Solder." Let's try this one more time. I think what it is just me trying to film and be in there at the same time. Alright. Now that looks a hell of a lot better already. You can see we got a lot more meat on that end there to work with. So let's go ahead and cool this off now real quick and take a look at it. Now you remember how thin that was before. I got a lot more beef on there now. A lot more to work with there. But before we go doing anything, let's file this down a little bit. Basically, we're just trying to blend it in so that it can't really tell where we added it. Because you can see that line there. We want to get it even so we don't have that line there anymore. You want it to blend in real nice. Now see how that's blended in real nice? This way that doesn't look like there's any gold that has been added to it. It blends in real nice. We're going to do the same thing over here on this side. You don't just want to leave a blob of gold on there. You want to make sure it's nice and even and flush. No lines. This way it looks like it was made that way. You got a lot more meat to work with there. And we're still just working on getting that line out of there. Yeah, it's got a lot more wear there. Much better. Okay, we got the line out of that side. We got the line out of both sides. Now we're just going to hit the whole end tab just a little bit. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side here. Alright, and you see now we got that blended in real nice. It's beefed up now on the ends there. And see, just for comparison, you can take a look at this side here. And then look at this side here. See how thin they're getting? Because you can see how it's thick here, and then it starts to thin out on the ends. And that's why we're beefing them up. And you can see the difference. Big difference. So we got one side done. Let's go ahead and get the other side set up here. And essentially we're just going to do the same thing we did on the other side. I'm going to put us a little boric acid denatured alcohol on here. You can use a popsicle stick or whatever for like chains and bracelets. Rings, I just dip the whole thing in usually, unless I'm setting a stone and building a prong or something like that, and I don't want the stone to fall out. And then I'll just dip some boric acid denatured alcohol on it. But just use a popsicle stick or any kind of stick really for that matter. You know, I didn't think I was going to have to get my other sheet of gold solder, but I might have to. If that's the case, I'll have to pause the video, go get it real quick and come back out. But hopefully we won't have to. Depends on how much solder we drop. Alright, let's go ahead and grab our solder. And we got our flux on there. Let's burn some of that off a little bit. You can see some of that clone and shit burning it off. You can hear it crackling too. I don't know what kind of clone this dude's using, but whatever it is, it's pretty strong. We got that one piece of flow, but I want to build that up a little more just for GP. Grab our solder. And let's hit this bad boy. Oh, you bitch. It fell, but I found it. There we go. There we go. Looks good. Let's cool this off real quick. pull it off. Let's zoom back out here. And let's take a look at what we got. No, I don't like that. So one side that's not really quite, it built up kind of on the one side but didn't really pull through to the other side. So we're gonna have to hit that again one more time. Just light that up real quick. Okay. Grab our solder here. And let's come back into the end tab. And your boy is being a retard. Might help to put some flux on there, or it ain't gonna do shit. Your boy be sitting here trying to solder it for the next 2 hours, trying to get the solder to pull through. All right, let's see what that looks like. Let's take a look here. Oh yeah, that's a hell of a lot better. I think I'm gonna stick one more piece on there though, just for GP. Alrighty. Alright, that looks good. Fairly good anyways. Let's see. See if I can pull it over a little bit here to this side. Just a tiny little bit. Oh yeah. I think we're where we want to be now. Let's take a look at it here. Let's pull it off. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. Heck yeah. Well, shit. We need to beef this side up more. Because look at this side. Compared. Yeah. We need to hit this other side a little more too. I shouldn't have filed the lines out just yet. But a little too late for that. It's not a biggie. I'd rather it be right because I am a perfectionist. I tend to be when it comes to this kind of stuff. I like people to know and always have, when they give me their jewelry, they know they don't have any questions. They know it's going to come back correct. Always. Always and forever. Let's put us a little flux on there, just a tad. Let's grab our solder. Yeah, this side was beefed up, but that other side is a little extra beefed up. So we're going to extra beef this side so they kind of match. You don't want to do one side a little beefier than the other because then it look weird for one. All right. Now we got both sides looking a little more uniform there. Kind of. I still need to get it to pull through a little more. So one particular side just doesn't want to seem to pull through quite like the other side is. So I'm going to hit it from the other side here. I cooled it off. I put some more boric acid denatured alcohol on it. Burn that off a little bit. But the main thing is I need to get to pull down a little more. I could get it to just pull down a little bit more. No, it's not quite what I was wanting. All right, let's cut us another piece of solder here. Okay. Well, it's looking like I may have to go get that other sheet of solder, because I'm getting down to bare minimums here. Sorry guys, trying to keep you in focus here. Now that looks better, I think. Let's take a look at it real quick. Let's pull her off. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Let's look at this side. Yeah, we need to beef this side up a little bit more. A little bit more. Oh, there's one piece there. Look how tiny my solder piece is, man. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. I'm gonna have to go get me another sheet, which I got here. I just gotta go grab it. All right. Let's see. How this is going to play out here for us. Or are we going to have to go get the other sheet of solder? We might. Now each end is beefy. I mean, they're a lot beefier than they was, but I want them to match. I don't want one side to look a little beefier than the other. It just looks sloppy, lazy. We're not trying to be that. All right, that is a hell of a lot beefier. All right, they look like they're gonna match now. So let's zoom back out here. Let's take a look. Beefy, beefy. Beefy, beefy. Fairly beefy. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think we need to work on this side a little more. So let's do that. Well, this is the last of my solder, so I'm gonna have to pause the video after this and go get my other sheet. Should have brought it out with me. However, I didn't. Yeah, now that looks a lot better. I think we're even now. Let's take a look. Now we still got to do some filing down a little bit, but we're looking a lot better on those ends. This is a little bit higher, but we're going to file that down just a tiny tad. Not a whole lot. Then after we file it down, I'm going to have to pause for a second and go get my other sheet of solder. That shit's getting expensive now, man. It's $100 a sheet. I remember when you could get it for 50, 60 bucks a sheet. But I guess that's inflation, I guess. And we're just trying to get that line out of there, file it down, make it look even. Okay. Well, that's interesting. This has been worked on before at some point. Check this out. See that link? Somebody sees those links together. Don't know why. why they would do that, but definitely nothing to do with us, because we way up here. But I just noticed that. That is, why would they season them together like that? That don't make much sense. Yeah, you can see where somebody fixed it before. You can see the solder. See the solder going through the middle there. What in the hell? Why would you do that? That don't make much sense at all. Well, ain't nothing we can do about that. Somebody sees them links together. Right there. That's crazy. Oh well. I just wanted to point that out because I just noticed it. I was like, well, that's interesting. Alright, now let's do the other side here. Get it even. Get it looking good. And we're just trying to get that line out of there, make it more uniform. Or make it uniform so that it blends in. Okay. So we got both tabs, both end tabs blended in, uniform pretty good. We got the ends beefed up pretty good. File that down just a tad. Smooth it out just a little bit. We don't want to do a whole lot of grinding on it. So we're trying to leave some meat there. And then we need to do the same thing on this side. Now I'm just using a silicone wheel. I'm not using a rock or sanding paper because the end tabs are pretty thin. So you don't want to be real aggressive with the grinding. So I just use a silicone wheel to slowly take that down. Because we're not trying, point is that we're trying to keep the meat on there. We're not trying to take it off. Alright guys, I think we are pretty much even where we want to be. So we got that side there and this side here. Yeah, that's looking 100,000 times better than what it was. Remember how thin those were. Now by the time we polish, they're just going to take a little bit off of it. So we're not going to mess with that anymore. Still kind of weird how they decided to solder that chain together like that. Right there. Right at the end. What in the world? Yeah, see, like right here, you can see it's cut right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can zoom you guys in. But you can see the link had originally split at the ends. And instead of linking it through and welding the link back together so it could still stay movable, they just put the link through there, laid it flat, drew a piece soldered through it right there, and called it a day. Damn. Anyways, I gotta pause the video real quick. I gotta go grab that other sheet of solder, and I'll be right back in just a second. Alright guys, we got us some solder from Stoller. Anyways, that yellow marking you see, I marked the sheets to this way if you have a piece of solder that is just laying there, I need to mark it some more, but this way if you see a piece and it's got that color on it, you know whether it's yellow gold or, you know, white gold or whatever. Just a tip. Alright, now that we got that part done, now here's what we need to do. We need to go ahead and weld. We're going to go ahead and weld that hairline crack in the clasp, and then we're going to put the jump ring through and go ahead and weld it. I was hoping we could put the jump ring through and just weld this part, but it's too close to the top there and they could seize together. So we just want to be safe, rather safe than sorry. You know how that goes. So let's go ahead and dip this thing in some boric acid denatured alcohol. It's a little more work than we had anticipated, but hey, that's why I said in one of my videos, you got to learn to adapt, because sometimes the way you think it's going to go isn't always the way it's going to go. Put our flux on there. Cut us a piece of solder here. We don't need a gigantic piece, just a small piece. Alrighty. Let's grab our solder as it goes flying away on us. And let's get the... Now you want to be careful because there is a spring in here in the clasp. So you don't want to heat real far down on the clasp, because you melt the spring in the clasp, then the clasp is done for. Then you have to replace the clasp or put a new spring in it if you can. Damn it, dude, I don't know what kind of clone you be using. Just need to quit using it, because you're fumigating me. Need a little more heat. Oh God, that clone stinks. It does not smell good when it's burning off. I tried to clean it in the ultrasound, but you know, you can only get so much of that shit out of there. And a lot of you know that do jewelry repair or anything, you know what I'm talking about. And people that smoke pot, holy shit. Man, you hit fire to that thing, you get high yourself. Come on, flow, baby. Come on, flow. There we go. Alright, we should have our end of our clasp taken care of there. Now we're going to let that cool off for a second, just because we don't want to stick it in there in the water, take a chance of shattering that spring inside. So we want to let that cool off a little bit. But we have got our clasp welded together on the end there. Good. It should be good now. Alright. First thing we want to do is make sure our spring still works, which it does. So we did not burn the spring up. That's always a good thing. And second, we have got our split welded, which it looks like we do. Now before we go put this on the necklace and put the jump ring on, we're going to go ahead and clean up this end part here. that we just welded. Just blend it in real good. Okay, so we got that welded and taken care of. Now let's go ahead and hook this into one end here, like that. And let's go ahead and get our jump ring. And you're going to want to grab a pair of pliers to hold your jump ring, like so. And you're going to want to slip the other end tab through. And you're going to want to slip the clasp through, the back end of the clasp. And then you're going to want to grab another pair of pliers so that you can push that closed, like so. Then you're going to have to get your lock-in tweezers. At least that's what I call them, lock-in tweezers, if I can find them here. Let's see, you got to do a little adjusting here, guys. I think this is them, maybe. Get your lock-in tweezers. Grab down kind of at the bottom. Like that. This way you got it right there where we can weld the jump ring shut. Okay. And we're going to hit this bad boy with some boric acid denatured alcohol. And we don't need a big piece of solder, just a very small piece. And I'm probably not going to use any flux on this. I normally don't have to on jump rings. I mean, if you're just starting out, I would flux everything. But on jump rings, I find you kind of really don't have to. Just in my years of doing it. And let's grab our solder. And let's head in for the close-up. You son of a bitch. Look, my solder disappeared. Damn, I didn't even get it to the piece and it fell off the pick. Can you believe that? I can believe it. Let me know in the comments, man. Any of you guys ever drop solder all the time? I know I sure as hell do. And I seem to be dropping it more now that I'm filming. I usually don't drop solder all that often, but apparently the filming thing is still taking a little time to get used to, but we're getting better at it. Okay. Now we got our jump ring soldered together. Pull that off. Let's take a look at it here. Yeah, we got our jump ring soldered. The ends are so much more beefier now. So much more. So much better. And the end of that clasp we got welded together. And we're all back together again. Let's just clean up this jump ring real quick. Clean it up a little bit. Now you see, this whole time we just used a silicone ring to file everything, or silicone wheel to file everything down. You don't want to use a rock or anything super aggressive, because on small parts like this, you hit it with a rock and you're gonna thin it out in a hurry. Or sandpaper, aggressive sandpaper, or whatever you use. There's different types of things you can use. I prefer a rock myself for grinding, or a Mizzy wheel. Alright, we got that a little more uniform now. Let's hit this side a little more. And you will have to adjust the jump ring a little bit, just because it will move on you occasionally. Alright guys, so we got our ends beefed up here. Got our ends beefed up. We got the end of the clasp welded together where it came apart from. And we had to undo the jump ring and re-weld the jump ring, unfortunately, just because I originally just wanted to slip the jump ring through here. But you can see that jump ring sits way up too close to where we had to weld the back of the clasp. And I didn't want it to get stuck on there, so we had to do it a different way. Let's clean this clasp up just a tad, and then we should be ready to go drop this in the ultrason and then go polish it up. Let's see what it's going to look like. Alright guys, we're going to go drop this in the ultrason real quick, and then we will be back to polish it. Still can't believe they soldered that one side, this side here, like that. Still can't believe they did that. But hey, that's not our concern. Anyways, we got the two ends beefed up, we got the jump ring, and we got the end of the clasp welded. Let's go drop it in the ultrason, and we'll polish this sucker up. Be right back. Alright guys, we're ready to buff this thing up. See, get started on that part. Now we're going to start with the parts that we worked on first. So we're going to do the end tab. And we're going to do the end tabs, the clasp, the whole nine. We'll do that before we do the rest of the chain. You see how good that already looks? And remember, you don't need a whole lot of rouge when you're doing this. You just need a little bit on there, that's all you need. Alright, we got that side nice and polished. Now let's go ahead and do the clasp on this side first. Especially the part where we welded at the bottom there. Look at that shine. Look at that. Alright, let's go ahead and do the... Let's go ahead and hit the jump ring now. Do the clasp a little more here. Alright, let's hit the jump ring now. And you're going to have to spin the jump ring around a little bit. To get all the sides. And make sure you get the top of the jump ring as well. Alright, now let's do the end tab. Hold on, I'm going to hit the jump ring a little bit more here. Alright, let's work on this end tab on this side now. And we're just we're just buffing the parts that we worked on first. You always want to take care of that first usually. And then once you've done that, you can move on to the rest of the necklace or bracelet or whatever. Which you're gonna have to do because you can see the difference between here and the rest of the chain. I mean, so you're gonna have to do the rest of the chain, otherwise it's gonna look awfully weird. Alright guys, let's go ahead and hit the rest of this chain. Now if you don't have anything like this, It took me a while to find something like this. You can use the inside cardboard piece of a roll of duct tape or a roll of scotch tape. I used that for the longest time until I found this thing, and I don't even remember where I found this at. It wasn't online. I was at like a yard sale or something, or a garage sale or something, and I said, hey, you know what, there's my new roller right there. And I've had this for probably about 15-20 years now. Now we're not doing a full refurb on this, so we're not worried about the joints like we were in the last video. Trying to get all that done as well. We're not really worried about that. Then we're going to do the same thing going back the opposite direction on the same side. Now when you're doing this, be mindful of when you're coming to the end of the chain, because you want to hang on to it real nice and tight. See, now we got the rest of the chain on that side looking good. I think we're going to run over it one more time on this side real quick. There we go. Alright, now we gotta go same thing, opposite side. We're gonna be doing the same exact procedure. Sorry guys, I got an itch. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing, going back the opposite direction. Make sure we're getting to the end there, so we want to make sure we keep our eye on it. And let's take a look at our chain here. Looks like a different chain, don't it? And look at that. We gotta get some of that rouge off of there though, but let's go put it in the ultrasound and we'll come back and look at the finished product, guys. Be right back. Alright guys, we're back with that necklace. You can see how nice and polished and clean it is. Looking nice. We got the end of the clasp done. We got the end tabs rebuilt. Jump ring, got the clasp fixed. And it took us a little bit. We had to do a little more work than we wanted, but such is the case sometimes. But this is the Gangster Jeweler, guys. If you'd like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. If you'd like to leave a tip or donation, the link for that will be down in the description. But it's not required. I appreciate you guys watching. If you're in the Jacksonville area, if you'd like to, if you're looking for jewelry for Christmas, I highly suggest Money Miser on Blanding Boulevard. And if you're not in the Jacksonville area, if you would check out Stellar Jewelry, I'll have the link for that down in the description as well. If you can order online. But also, if you'd like to follow me on Twitch, I'm kind of still learning on the Twitch side of things. I'm doing a reaction channel over there. I also have a reaction channel, YouTube channel that I'm trying starting as well. It's nothing big at the moment, but I'm not gonna leave you guys. Don't worry about that. I'll be doing jewelry repair probably till I die, so that's just the way it is. I kind of enjoy doing it. So, but this is the Gangster Jeweler, guys. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll usually get back to you. Not right away, but at some point. But this is Gangster Jeweler, guys. And I will see you on the next one. Ooh, that turned out good, didn't it? See you on the next one, guys. Take care.